at some point, Poshmark could be somewhere you sell without holding any inventory. In today's video, we are going to be talking about a Poshmark call that happened yesterday that nobody knew about.
Nobody's talking about it except for us.
Yes. So I'm Shay. I am a full-time reseller.
I'm Tyler, part-time reseller.
And we are your news source and Poshmark growth source and all of those type of things. If you find all of that information helpful, if you find this video helpful, make sure that you're sharing it on Facebook, Instagram, wherever you can, because we want to be that news source for you going forward. And hopefully we can find more of these secret calls that have so much good information that you want to find out. Before we get into it, you have a t-shirt.
I do have a shirt. This is the final shirt from the wonderful package that Zoe sent to us, one of our favorite people that watches our videos.
Thank you for that. And as I always say, please check her out on YouTube. She is amazing and she is local to us, so it's awesome to see other things that people are finding in the area. So I'm going to link one of her videos for you. But yes, show us your t-shirt.
It's any beer, anytime. Professional beer taster.
If you know anything about Tyler, that is all him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So thank you again. We appreciate it. We love the t-shirts, and I think you guys do too. So thank you.
It's become a thing.
It's a thing. Okay, so let's get into it. First of all, what was this call?
So this call was kind of an information and technology call. It was sponsored by an investment firm. And they were just talking to the CEO and CFO about just an informal chat on Poshmark and where things are headed.
A fireside chat, if you will.
Kind of, yeah. It was kind of like a non-published fireside chat for Poshmark.
Yeah, so there's a ton of information in here, a lot of really good things, and some things I'm not sure how I feel about. So let's just get right into what they talked about.
So the first thing that they mentioned, and I think this is no surprise to anyone, is that they want to be the foremost place for fashion, for resale on the web. They want to beat all of their competition across the board when it comes to clothing, fashion, accessories. So they want to beat eBay, they want to beat Mercari, they want to beat Facebook Marketplace. Whatnot has just jumped on the scene. There's the other one for younger people that I can't even remember. Depop, thank you. So they want to be the top of mind awareness for people when you think of buying clothes online.
Right, and I think they are poised to do that. There's going to be a lot of challenges, but they did give us kind of a rundown of how they are planning on doing that. So they gave us 3 tenets that they feel is going to set them up to be the fashion destination in the future. So first I'm going to go over the 3 tenets and then we'll explain what they said about them and then how we feel about what they said about them. So the 3 tenets, number 1 is keep it simple. So they wanted simple listing process for all sellers across the board. Number 2 was community-centric. They wanted this to be a community platform where you're not only selling your stuff, but you're also engaging with other sellers and buyers. And then number 3 was a personalized shopping experience that is made simple. So do you want to start off with the keep it simple?
So the keep it simple makes all the sense in the world. And we'd actually been talking about this related to Poshmark versus eBay between the two of us, not related to this at all. And they do nail this. They, from an ease of listing and an ease of use for the seller, they certainly excel at that compared to eBay and Facebook Marketplace and Mercari and all of these other places. Poshmark is very simple to get started. There's a much lower barrier to entry, and I think having a lower barrier does encourage more people to try it versus the other platforms.
Yeah, so just for an example, if you want to compare eBay and Poshmark when it comes to listing, one thing that I will say as a seller is a super struggle when it comes to eBay is the extraneous things that I don't even feel a buyer would be searching for. So an example of that would be eBay asks you for theme. And if you don't put it in there, that's fine. You can still list the item, but you will get lots of notifications that you are missing item specifics for your listings. It's annoying. It looks clunky. I don't love it. And it's just a lot to scroll through and kind of look to see if you have things to add into these item specifics. Now, the reason eBay does this is they want to be able to really niche down to exactly what a buyer is looking for. But for us as a seller, it becomes really time consuming and it does become a barrier to entry. If I want to list something quickly, I'm more likely to list it on Poshmark than I am on eBay because I don't want to sit down for the process. So
I think it also causes a bigger margin for error on items. So we do the reports on eBay and we'll find things that are mislabeled for brand, mislabeled for size. It creates those friction points where you can have something slip through the cracks more so.
Yes. So as for keep it simple when it comes to listing, Poshmark, you've got that nailed. As for the other two, well, let's just see. So community centric. So basically they stated that they think that their platform is really community centric, that not only are sellers promoting their own listings by sharing and by, you know, sending out offers, things like that, but they are also promoting other people's listings. They are sharing other people's listings. They are helping build them up in the community. They are being helpful with, you know, sending those messages of, hey, I know you're new. Let me know if you have questions, that type of thing. And I'm going to say from my own personal perspective, I don't think that is necessary. And frankly, I find that actually a turnoff. I am here to sell.
Throw it out. Throw it out. It's dumb.
Yes, I am here to sell. I am here to run a business. And having to do that seems very stressful. And it also seems like it is creating fake engagement that I don't believe is being viewed properly. I think Poshmark sees me sharing other people's listings and thinking, wow, they're engaging with other people. They are looking at those listings. They're likely to purchase at some point because they're sharing them. And really, what I'm doing is I am just clicking a button and not engaging at all. I'm completely mindless when I do it. I'm just checking a box. I don't think it's a good use of time, and I really enjoy that other platforms do not require this of me.
I think that's fair. I think it's 100% they require, so they're forcing you to do it versus you wanting to do it. So if it was genuine, if you were actually wanting to engage rather than just checking things off so that you can selfishly sell items on their platform, then yeah, it would be a valuable metric. But for the most part, you're just doing it and you don't look at the item. It's like those unskippable ads. No one watches them. Like they're not valuable for them. You do it to get on with your day.
Yeah. So Poshmark, the way I feel is you are not a social media platform. I know you want to be, but you're not. Yeah. And if we could do away with the community aspect, I think we would all do so much better. However, I know that there's a lot of you out there that enjoy the community aspect. I've had comments on my videos. I've had people tell me that they purchase from sharing another person's closet, all that type of stuff. So if you are one of those people, leave us some comments in the comments below, because I would really like to have a conversation about this. We are not a closed door. We don't just feel one way. I would really love to hear more information about those
Tell
who
me
enjoy.
you're not going to block people that disagree with us?
I'm not. But I really would like to hear more from people that enjoy this community aspect, because everyone in my circle dislikes it, and I would love to see the other side of that. So do leave us those comments. Okay, and then number 3. Personalized buyer experience. Now, before we really get into whether or not that is something they do,
this is my category.
that is him.
Yeah.
I do want to say that they actually talked quite a bit about the fact that they are working on creating a deeper and deeper personalized experience when you are shopping. They explained that their goal is to make it so that you get exactly what you're looking for without it being creepy. Their words, not mine.
Google, Amazon, Facebook, they go too far with that, where you say something when your phone is not even being used and you then see something related to what you're talking about. It's too far. But
so that is what I think they mean by not being creepy. But they are going to use, it seems, some type of technology to create that type of experience without going too far. I don't know exactly what, but they talked a lot about wanting to do that. So how do you feel they're doing with buyer experience?
I love the idea. I love the concept of tailoring it to the buyer. They just do a very bad job about it. Speaking as someone who buys things for my lovely wife on Poshmark for birthdays, anniversaries, Christmas, they haven't customized it to that purpose. I always have to change it from the men's side of Poshmark to what I'm actually looking for. I always have to change it out of my size, which is not my wife's size. That's just, it's not tailored to how I've used the platform in the past. And I think that there's a disconnect there that they need to work on between what you've put in originally when you set up the account versus how you're actually using it. And they should be better at adapting it to the shopping trends that you've used the platform for rather than the arbitrary information you used to set up the account.
I will say there is a tricky part of this, right? As sellers on the platform, we use this platform to look up comps. We use this platform to list items, all of that type of things, which does mess up the shopping experience for us as sellers, because I may be looking for, say, a dress to wear to a Posh Fest outing, and it's going to tailor my stuff to what I've been listing and comping because it thinks that is my buyer experience, which is just not.
No.
So I know that that is really tricky, and I don't actually have an answer for how you fix that. But the main thing that I would love them to fix is when I search for something, if I have my size filter on, which it automates to on, my search does not yield results. You have to turn that size filter off, and then you'll get the results you're looking for. That is not super helpful to me. I don't want to have my size filter off. I would like to shop my size. So fix that. I know that all of this other stuff is hard, but fix that,
I have an
please.
idea for that. So if they had two separate portals, one for buying and one for selling, so you just flip to a different tab, or there's a button that you check, and you could just separate those two out, that would be tremendously helpful for fixing that issue.
Poshmark, hire him.
Yeah, pay me all of the monies.
Let's move on to why you guys probably clicked on this video. And yeah, it's coming, guys. It's coming. So this call, they spoke a lot, and they were asked a lot of questions about how they were planning on monetizing engagement.
Yes.
They really hammered home that engagement was a very big thing on the platform, and that they have higher engagement than they do sales, and that the number of active users on their platform means that they have an opportunity for even more engagement. And they kept getting asked, how are you going to monetize this? What are you going to do with this?
There's a lot to break down here. So they were asked specifically about increasing their take rate, and they do want to increase their take rate, and that means that they are taking in more money from their user. Now, how are they going to do that? There's a couple different ways they can do that, and not many of them are good, if any. So they could raise the fees. They could charge 25%. They could charge promoted listing fees. Please, for the love of God, don't do that. They could charge an insertion fee like eBay. They could do all of these things to raise the money that they're bringing in off of their user base, and not a single one of those is going to gain support from the user base. Obviously, no. That's just across the board, a blanket no.
Yes. So the positive is when they were directly asked how they were going to monetize engagements, they were asked if they were planning on increasing fees. And they talked a lot about how the other platforms have increased fees, but they would like to avoid that. Now, they didn't say they won't do it. They said that they would rather not do that. They feel they have a consistent loyalty to their users, and that helps with the stickiness of their platform. So they would like to not do that, but they do want to increase take rate. So as he said, there are other ways to do that. Promoted listings or other ways where they can get more money off of a sale without charging higher fees. Now, the other thing that they could do to monetize engagement is create advertisements. You know, you see banner ads, you see other things. Maybe you have to play a video before you use some kind of a tool on their platform. But the thing that remains absolutely true, even though they haven't given us the exact way yet, they will be monetizing engagement at some point. They made that pretty clear. They just didn't want to announce, and they stated, we don't want to announce anything until we've released it. So they're not going to tell us exactly what it means.
I think, so they were asked this question 5 or 7 or 100 billion times on this call. I think the people asking this question know very well that they have already been selling your data, that there's no real increase that they can put into there. There's no real way to just generate sales on their platform. So the only way to go is either to increase fees or to sell advertising space. And cynical me is thinking that the best outcome would be to sell ad space. I think if there was a banner ad, because eBay has those and other platforms have that, or a non-skippable ad to use a better version of the share all tool, like if they could figure out a way to make it comparable to the other tools that are third party, and you just have to watch a 15-second video, 30-second video. I mean, no one's watching those, but that is a way to generate revenue without an impact in my pocket. I think that's the best case scenario, and it's not great.
Yeah.
No.
Any scenario does not look good. I don't love it, but I understand from a business perspective that they need to find more ways to generate income, and if my time is what they're going to have to use, then I guess my time over my money is probably worth it. So let us know in the comments below. If they're going to monetize engagement, which it appears they are, how would you like to see them do that? What would you like to see them charge for if you didn't have any other option and you still had to use a platform? Let us know. I'm curious what other ideas are for this. So they did talk a lot about brand closets as well, and I wanted to mention this really quickly, just a quick bullet point, but they did let us know that there is a tiered fee system. So brand closets, it would appear, pay less than we do. We don't know exactly what it means. We didn't get the breakdown, but they did say there was a tiered system. So I just wanted to mention it. I don't feel lovely about it, but I kind of knew.
I think they also, on top of the fee break, they are also getting ways to automate the system to make it more effective to sell on the platform, routing orders directly to the warehouse so they can be fulfilled, just integrating the inventory management and the lack of upkeep of sharing and all of those things are obviously things that brands are going to demand and they're going to get because it's the real world. It's unfortunate that they also then get a price break, even if I can understand the reason.
Yeah. So I don't want to hammer on that one. I know people want to know how the brand clauses are coming over and all that type of stuff, but this seems to be what they're working on. This could mean that this type of stuff is going to trickle down to us at some point, and that's kind of the optimistic viewpoint. But yeah, just know they are getting a better deal, and it is what it is. Now, I do want to touch on this because we've kind of criticized Poshmark for opening up other categories. So we've said a few times in the quarterly earnings calls that they do talk about the other categories and how they are faster growing, and we were really nervous that was diluting Poshmark. And we did mention in the last quarterly earnings call, and I can link that up here if you guys missed that, but that they seem to refocus on fashion, and we were really excited about it. In this call, they kind of explained that disconnect. So you want to kind of go over what they said about electronics and other opening categories?
So electronics is to pander, basically. They confirmed, or they stated on this call that they brought over electronics and other non-fashion related categories specifically to pander to men and male buyers.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line.
Yeah. So they're looking to attract men over into the platform so that they can become the fashion source for not only women, but also men. They did say that additionally, they would like to be able to capture more of a buyer's wallet with having these categories, but the main draw is to bring men over. So as a man, how do you feel about being pandered to in this way? Do you think this would work for you?
I'm fine with being pandered to. I think they're doing it poorly again. I think it's the right idea. It's the wrong execution on that idea. So there's nothing wrong with wanting to bring over more of a specific demographic to shop on your platform. And I think that's a good news across the board for resellers. Honestly, if more men are buying on Poshmark and spending money, that means more money in our pocket.
Absolutely.
So 10 out of 10, I want them to do that. I think a better, more effective way is to cater to the things that they do well rather than bringing in a random category. So I want them to be promoting sports teams and vintage items related to that. I want them to be promoting graphic t-shirts. I want them to be promoting sneakers. I want them to be promoting things that are related to fashion on their platform that are going to bring in the men. I don't ever expect to want to buy a DVD, a video game, that kind of stuff. I'm not buying on Poshmark. You can bring over men by catering specific fashion or clothing items to them and being the one place that they can consistently find that. And then you're also going to capture more of their money on the ancillary spending in that same closet.
Yeah. I think that the thing they need to remember is if they want to be the number one fashion source, they want to be the number one fashion source for men as well. And they want men to think of it as a fashion source. They don't want men to be like, oh, I bought that video game on there. I wonder what else they have. That's not really the mindset you want. You really want them to think, I got this really cool vintage Patriots item. I really want to see if there's any more cool Patriots items on this like fashion platform. That's what you want. You want that. So I think that they're just going about it the wrong way, but I like that they are looking at targeting more men. I think that's important. I do think that there is a lack of men shopping on the platform. There are definitely them there.
I mean, I certainly only shop for you on Poshmark. I understand that it's for clothing. I'm not shopping on Poshmark for clothing because I buy t-shirts at the thrift store.
Right. So I hope that they are able to figure this out and refine it and get more men. One thing I do think that they maybe are missing an opportunity on is they mentioned their marketing and they mentioned that the focus right now is completely TikTok. Now I get it. Gen Z, and I mean, we're on TikTok. Everyone's on TikTok these days.
If you're not on TikTok, please tell me how you've avoided it to this point. Like, how are you not on TikTok?
Right. We're all on TikTok. I totally get it. However, if you're targeting men, an option may be to target men-dominated platforms. Think of Reddit. places like this where men are already, and if you put an ad there in front of them, they are likely to click on it. I know you've clicked on ads from Reddit.
I've clicked on ads off Google before. Like, I'm the worst at that. If I see something cool, I fall for that every time, and it's
He's
awful.
so impressionable. So
oh yeah, I am.
make
I am
that.
totally where you want that focus to go, because if I see something cool, I click on it. It doesn't have to be an ad. It doesn't have to be any. If I see something that I want to find out more about, I will click it every 11 out of 10 times.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can target him. It will work. Just target
I
him
won't
properly.
take it personally. Yeah. Do a better job so that I don't feel cheap when you've pandered.
Yes, exactly. So I'm really glad that they're doing that. I just hope that they refine how they're doing it. Now, finally, I'm going to tell you I think this is weird, and you guys may be super excited about it. I don't know.
Oh, God.
But
so much rage.
At the end of the call, they asked Manish what his view was for the next 5, 10, 15 years for Poshmark, what he saw it being. And he mentioned two things. So the first thing he mentioned was video, and I am not going to go into the rumors in the community when it comes around video. However, look at any Facebook group and you will see what they may be doing when it comes to video in the future. So that one I'm not going to touch. However, the other thing they mentioned was digital fashion. So do you look this up? What is
I did look.
fashion?
I had no idea what this was. I was completely wrong when I thought I knew what it was. Digital fashion is things to change your online persona. So change pictures, change outfits. It's
Digitally.
all on the. You're buying something that you're not actually going to use other than for online. So you're changing things so that you can post it on Instagram or Facebook or somewhere on social media to look cool.
Yes. So what this means is at some point, Poshmark could be somewhere you sell without holding any inventory. So that's pretty cool to think of that is an option in the future. What is weird for me to think of is that we will be monetizing a digital thing, almost like an NFT, but not really.
It's like that. It's like the custom skins for video games that you have to pay $1.99 to unlock this extra feature or this paint scheme, or no one cares. I don't care. I am baffled that anyone would care.
Now, I'm going to be honest. I play Animal Crossing, for example, and I will collect all the clothing. I like changing my outfit every day.
This is why it works. This is
why
it works.
And I'm not saying that they're wrong to feel this way. What I'm a little bit hesitant about is as a seller, how would I participate in this? I'm not artistic. And would I be purchasing maybe artist renderings to then? I don't know. I don't know how this would work. It's interesting to think about. It's definitely futuristic feeling, but they are thinking forward and they're thinking about what it could mean, what the next steps are. And that honestly is encouraging. It makes me think that they are not only just looking at this business as how do I make more money, but how is this sustainable in the future? And that is a really good sign for any company.
The only thing that I'm very skeptical about is that I don't see a way for the same level of access for the everyday seller compared to a brand to do this. That is my biggest concern, is that they are going to edge out in this category the reseller in favor of brands and businesses and things that have the resources to do this.
Yes. So the jury is out on whether or not this is something we would like or we'd be excited about, because I don't know how it would work in practice. But it's a really interesting concept, and I guess I'm glad I learned about it. But yeah, so that is what Poshmark is looking towards. This was an interesting call. I didn't actually expect them to say anything that we didn't already know, but they did. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, if you found this interesting and you want to hear more about what they said and all that stuff, I'm going to link in the comments below the link to this call. It just happened yesterday, so don't feel bad if you missed it. And you can listen to it and see what you think and share with us your thoughts. And what did you take from the call that we may have missed? We'd love to hear from you. But that is everything we have.
Thank you all so much, and we'll be back soon with a new video.